Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Pat Baxter and Debbie and Shirley, Leticia and Beverly, and I think that is Lucy Mott and Heather, Sherry Ann. Hello, Chris Wood. Did you have fun yesterday painting? Hello, Carol Manhart. Hello, Mary Davis and Shirley. And let's just get the right button. I was pushing the button and pushing it and nothing came up. So, hi guys. So happy that you're here. Hello, Marilyn and Ellie. Hello, hello, hello. I need to fix that over on YouTube. I don't know why that does that with the ad things. Don't like that. So, oh, awesome. Let me just get my chair a little closer. I always feel like I'm so close to the camera. But, hello, Linda Salcini from snowy northern Michigan. Oh my goodness. So, it is. That's what I do. Hello, my beautiful friend. How are you, Rhonda? Hello, Charlene and Shirley. How are you and all the ladies, gents, doing today? Hello, Ronnie. Hi, Patrick. Oh, my goodness. So, hiya. Hey, Laura. So, I just got a little notification on my thing. Right now, it's 77 degrees here in Middle Georgia. I live just south of Macon. And the notification is tomorrow's low will break records. So, no wonder my husband brought all my plants and flowers in from the front porch today. We keep those in the garage throughout the year, and surprisingly, they always come back. So, and the ones that are just what? I always get it mixed up. Perennials, annuals, the ones that die year after year, we take those out and I'll replenish. Hello, Debbie Fortin. Good to see you on. I've not sent that, but I will send it soon. I was sculpting with Iron Orchid. Oh, I love, love, love. You know, I have an account with them. I thought about ordering stuff, but I don't know. I don't need anything else. It's 34 and snowing here. Chris Avola, I'm so sorry. Hello, Dawn. Shut up. It's cold here. 85 degrees in California. Yeah, that's my kind of weather. Where we're at right now, 77, and and where Ronnie is. I love the snow, but don't like the snow. I love the snow. It's very pretty. I just don't want to be in it. I don't want to have to travel. I don't want to have to go outside. I don't want to have to bundle up. So, hello, Pam and Ann. Hello, Cindy. Good to see you guys on. Hello, Barb and Diane and Monty and Peg. Who else did I miss over here? Oh, my goodness. So, as always, been a very busy week, but a good week. Fantastic week, I might say. They are amazing. Have hair blowing in my face because I have my fan on in my studio. Let me just turn that down. With the lights and everything, it gets a little hot in here. Hello, Elizabeth and Bonnie. Hi, Donna. Oh my goodness, Marlene. I'm going to be in Memphis next week. Well, Bartlett and Eads. So, hello, Michelle. My nephew's getting married next weekend, so I won't be live next weekend. Love looking at snow, visiting snow country. Yes, I mean, I lived in Nebraska for 3 years, and let me just say it was colder and we had more snow there than we did the 2 years we lived in Iceland, which was cold. So, yeah, I like to paint it. I like to look at it. I just don't want to be in it. I don't want it to be a part of my day. So, right? And you probably get it up there though, Bev, right? Up in the North Georgia. Oh, you're so welcome, Chris Wood. I've got it over there ready to be sent this week. Hello, Linda. Oh my gosh, you left them where? In your shorts? Oh my goodness, Loretta, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I have AirPods, but I can't find them. I put them somewhere knowing, okay, that's where you're going to find them. And I can't find them. So, anyhows, Northern France, we rather have the heater on than the fan. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, if this is your first time, hi, I'm Sandy McTeer. Welcome into my studio. Like I said, I am smack dab in the middle of Georgia where it's a balmy, a little breezy, 77 degrees. So, not to brag because tomorrow we're going to be cold. But I am excited to be here with you guys. Again, it's my birthday month. We have some happy mail to announce. We have some unboxing to do of some new paints. I'm sure you've seen them. Let them dry out. Oh, they might be okay. Or stick them in like some rice, you know, like you do a phone. I don't know. So, hello, Debbie Easton. Right, Bonnie Duncan, you think, okay, this, I know I'm going to remember that. I know that I'm putting them, that whatever it is, in that place because you're going to be able to find it. Sounds like a good idea when you do it until you got to look for it and you can't find them. So, hello, Sylvia. Hello, Veronica. Oh my goodness gracious. All righty. So yes, tomorrow I'm going to look for something to wear to the wedding, which is next weekend. Your birthday month also on the 12th. Well, happy early birthday, Debbie. I'm the 18th. And I got some fantastic happy mail. I should have shared pictures with you guys. I did with my membership group. Oh, hi, Brenda. I didn't see you over on Facebook either. So my sweet dear friend, Fran Langevin, who I've known for probably at least a decade, right, Fran? I mean, so when I would go to creative painting and painted with her, she took many of my classes. Anyway, she's always very sweet to send me things for my birthday. And this year she sent 2 Hello Kitty pumpkin cookies that you could paint. So it had like a little paintbrush and food coloring or whatever that was dry on a card. I'm talking with my hands like my husband does. But anyway, I shared pictures with my group yesterday and I should have shared that with y'all, but they were amazing. They tasted great as always. So Thanksgiving, Beverly is the 27th. So is Debbie Dean, my friend in Cincinnati. Snowy Western New York. So sorry, Cindy. Hi, Ellie. Glad you're here. Yes, I try to associate something when I put it in a place like, okay, remember you put it there because of this? Never, never works. Hello, Anne. Alrighty, guys, let's get started. So, again, if you're new here, welcome. Let me know where you're viewing from. I think they would be a fantastic make and take, right, Ronnie? Yes. I mean, it was so much fun. Now, you would have to have several because it didn't take very long to paint them, but, and you should use water, like to dilute it, but from my cookie and cake painting things that I've seen in the past, it was always done with vodka because it evaporates. But anyways, yours is the 27th as well, Monty. Wow, lots of November birthdays. So later in the month, y'all, are you Scorpios? I'm not real big on astrology. I just know that I'm a Scorpio. I couldn't even tell you what my kids are or what my husband is. I just know that my mom and my sister are Gemini because they're May. So hello, Janet. All right, I digress. Let's move on to Happy Mail. Happy Mail, number 1. So if you're not familiar with Happy Mail, let me break it down for you real quick. Every week I do a live. I will do Happy Mail giveaways. If you like, comment, and share, your name goes onto the Happy Wheel. Now, if you comment 50 times, that does not mean that your name goes on 50 times. Um, but if you want to comment 50 times, thanks. But anyway, I put those names on a wheel, spin it, 3 names pop up, spin after spin after spin, write that down. You have until my next live. Now, we will not be live until the 23rd because I'm gone next Sunday. So if you watch throughout the week, whether on Facebook or my YouTube channel, and you comment, you like, and you share, your name's going to go on the wheel because I do that literally the morning of. So the morning of the 16th, I will look at all the names on both platforms, put those on the wheel. The names that come up get Happy Mail. Okay? If you do not claim it by the next time I do a live, unfortunately, that goes back into the Happy Mail stash. So if you're watching this a month later, 2 months later, and you're like, oh my gosh, she just said my name. I'm sorry, your stash went back into, or your Happy Mail went back into the stash to give away. So hello, Sharon. I think those would be really cute, Ronnie. You should do those. Your puppy loved her first snow. Aw, that's great. You're Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius starts on the 22nd. Yep, I'm the 18th. So, Sagittarius. I had to switch over. Oh my goodness, Linda. Alrighty, so Happy Mail. Number 1. I know you're watching. Debbie Dean. My sweet friend says, and I was so happy when you texted me earlier today because I knew your name came up, but I didn't want to spoil the surprise. Okay. Happy Mail number 2 is Lynn. Is that with an E? Lynn Larson. Lynn Larson. I don't know that name, newbie, so message me. You can go to my website. You can go to Facebook Messenger. Website probably is the easiest for you to be able to go to and hit that contact button and let me know your mailing address. And the 3rd, I was excited to see Loretta Bell. You've not won in a while, so so glad to see your name pop up on the wheel. Hope you rested from net. I did, Carolyn. Thank you so much. Net was amazing. I did a little recap last week of it, so it was so much fun. I will definitely be going back next year. I want to see if I can move my screen without losing my chat. Nope, lost my chat. Okay, let's move this one then. There we go. I have 2 screens up, so I want to be able to see everything. Okay, and don't forget, guys, hashtag keep deco art in Hobby Lobby. All right. So, to be honest, I even went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and unfollowed their page because I'm a little mad that they're doing away with deco art products. Okay? Let them know you're not happy. We have to let them know. Don't let it just stop at 1 week and there's momentum and people are talking about it. Because like Lori Spelt said the other day, which thank you, Laura Haberstraw, for pointing that out to me. I did not see her live, but she is so right that we go for a bottle of paint or 5 or 10, but we leave with canvas and ribbon and things for the kids or the grandkids, things for the holidays, glue, palette paper. There's so many things that we go in for that we leave with, and we need to let them know and kind of let them know that we're not real happy. So be nice about it, but at the same time, we need to let them know that we are not happy. So I started this hashtag. I know it has been shared many times. Let me just kind of zoom in here before I show you my products. So hashtag, and all the words have to go together. Don't leave any spaces in a hashtag, okay? Well, now I have no reason to go to Hobby Lobby, right? Totally agree. They have already started down. Yes, I know. It's a shame, but you know what? They are, Sandra, Harvey, they are all deco art products. Maybe down the line if there's like a specialty something, but for right now, no Americana, no Deco Art products. And guess what? I know y'all, myself, I used to teach at Hobby Lobby. I taught there for 13 years. And we'll just put that one there too. But I taught there for 13 years. And I would do field trips to the sections of things that I bought, the clearance section, the fabric, the scrapbooking. There are so many things that we use as painters. It's not just paint. So I hope they kind of take it in the purse strings, because I wasn't real happy when they did some things with artifacts from other countries and took no accountability. But this with paint bothers me. Now, let me on that caveat and say we have fantastic distributors. You've got Chris Hoy, you have Maureen Baker who does Deco Art. I carry some Deco Art. I carry the media line. I carry the some of the Love Color. I carry Asphaltum because I love that acrylic paint. So there are other places to shop and get things, but at the same time, when you have a distributor versus 2,000 stores, that's where the masses are going to be able to get the product. So continue to let them know nicely with kindness, like we have in this industry, that you're not happy. Let's make a change. Let's make a stink. I mean, crap, if Cracker Barrel can, have their minds changed, then surely we can change the minds of Hobby Lobby, right? I hope. Okay, so supposedly they were bought. They weren't bought. Nah. As we have seen with ebbs and flows in the industry, that sometimes, yes, home decor, but Hobby Lobby started as a arts and crafts supply. If you look at like their very original stores, it's arts, crafts, supplies, and seasonal. Seasonal crept in, and now seasonal is big. And then home decor, which a lot of their home decor pieces are made like in India and Vietnam, and so anyway, let's let them feel a little bit of that angst that we are having, right? Okay, so let's oh my, the U.S. is becoming France. We've never had Deco Art in stores. I think there's hardly 1 or 2 online stores to order from. I buy them from Italy or Spain or the UK, right? Again, it's nice when the overseas places, or Canada even, which is right over the border, to have distributors that will bring those products in, but it comes at a cost. And sadly, that has to be passed down, and we're seeing it all over. So yes, I knew that they were replacing it with their own brand, but when they did that, and came out with Anita's or something, or changed Anita's, that didn't go over very well. And sorry, a lot of your growth has come off the backs of having the products in your store that you sold. And it's not just Deco Art. I've noticed a huge decline in the Tim Holtz Ranger mixed media stamps. That section as well has really dwindled. And if you go look at it, a lot of the products they're making are private labels. It's their label. Okay, why don't you support the companies that help build you to be a big company, right? Okay, off my soapbox. So yes, money does talk, and I will not be shopping at Hobby Lobby for the foreseeable future. Oh, no worries. No apology necessary, Donna. Okay, let's do a little unboxing. So I got the new special limited edition. Also, yes, the watercolor stuff, same, Michelle. Yep. Now, I did put this, and none of the ladies knew that they weren't carrying Deco Art. Elizabeth, again, you can only put so many things online, and people, oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that class. I didn't know you were doing that. Same thing with decor art. So spread the word. Let them know. Let them know that hashtag. Again, I'm just going to hold it up for you. And let them feel that it's going to hurt. So, anyways, I was kind of surprised. I do not like Master's Touch and Oil Watercolor Tubed Acrylics. They hardly have any Tim Holtz anymore. I mean, hello. So, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I was surprised at how few followers they have on their Facebook page. So, anyway, they will be sorry. We're going to let them know, right? Okay, I put the sticker on the box because I'm a firm believer that you can never have too much paint, right? So these are the new 2026 colors that are labeled with the 40th. Where do I have that? Let me see where I have that. I know I uploaded it. Didn't I put it up there? I guess I didn't. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I thought I did. I have to look through my glasses because I can't see. I guess I didn't. I thought I did. But anyway, DecoArt is sharing their 40th anniversary limited edition paint colors. And they will be readily available next year through Pinecraft and other distributors. But they launched in May of 1985. And Stan Clifford, who started the company, it was the year I graduated high school. So, I mean, talk about old. But I'm going to go right down here and let's brush these out and show you the colors. I know that you probably have seen them going around. Does it mean that they're getting rid of? Not necessarily, Patrick. What they did is they worked with the advisory committee and we talked to them about colors that we really missed and loved in the line. So you'll see colors that might be very similar to a color like peony pink. Okay, so this one is Marvelous, which I love the name. And then let's get a purple. This is Atmosphere. I don't know if I like that name, but After Dark, which love the name, and I think I'm gonna love that color. Juniper. There is a Whipped Mocha, but I love the label. How about y'all? The one thing I love the most is how big the name is because I can read it, which is, when you look at that one, it's very small. And, you know, I'm going to be 58 in a couple weeks, and my glasses just don't work the way they need to. Ember. We have Yuzu Yellow and Chocolate Fig. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to kind of swatch these out and then use them. So I just grabbed a journal page. Speaking of my journal, I always forget, but let me show you. I'm going to zoom out just a wee bit. So if you missed it last week, I did this on my live, and I shared the printable in my newsletter, but I will also get it added to my website. Okay, so you can just go if you didn't get the newsletter. All right, and then I showed you that one I did with my group. And then last week we did, let me see, was that the original? Nope, that was the original. We did this fun little chickadee with my membership group. That's my original, and then that's the one I did with them live. Still love my owl. So one page just has the wood, and then that one. Anywho's. So I grabbed a page out of my journal, and we are going to brush it out. I think I want to brush it out. Oh, we'll brush it out on this side. All right, let's move some of this stuff. I'll just pour my Sprite into my cup so I don't spill it. And I grabbed some stencil brushes because I know I want to stencil it out as well. So let's get our palette. And then after that, let me just show you, I have a couple of new random act of kindness pins, magnets, etc. I'm going to do the snowman one today. I have a wreath on my website as well, but we're not going to do this one today. I had planned to, but we're not. Because I want to do a couple variations. This one I stippled the greenery, but I want to paint up something different. So, but anyway, those are on my website. And we will get to those in a second. Alrighty, let's look at these colors. So I have not taken the plastic off, but I'm going to show you. If you've not seen this trick, you have to stick the whole lid in your mouth, all right? And then you twist it. So hot breath, and you twist it the opposite direction of how it would open. You know, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So let's open these. I didn't think about that with the unboxing. Oop, let's get right down there. Still didn't go. Yeah, it did. All right. So another thing I want you guys to keep in mind too, when I can only speak firsthand because I work as a creative consultant with Deco Art. But when things become ridiculously costly, then at some point they have to make those hard decisions as a company. When the pandemic hit, there were many things that went up in price, and pigments and mica powders. So like the things they use enchanted and metallic lusters and those things, it's affected, and it's a shame, but at the same time, it's affected. So, all right, we're gonna do yuzu yellow first. And let's just go ahead and get a brush. Ooh, let me find one of my new brushes that I am loving. I shared these last week with you guys, and let me just say, this is the first time that the Interlock Bronze has been in a short handle. They've done long handle for oils and stuff, but not short. So that is the yuzu yellow. I would say quite opaque. Let me do it on, this is like a brown. That's a really pretty yellow. Okay. And then we have juniper, and should not put that much. I have enough yellow there for everyone, and then some. So juniper. So I could so see like those two colors together on a leaf. This one is very like lemon. Think of painting lemons and adding that. This one, again, is a really pretty green that I think is missing from the line right now, which is great to see. Atmosphere, again, probably the only name I'm not real thrilled about. I don't know why, it just doesn't resonate with me. And it looks like it's deeper than like Purple Petal, and certainly deeper than like a periwinkle. Okay, this one I'm super excited to try. So I will say, again, since I'm on the creative, the advisory committee, that I have seen these, but we finally just got our 2-ounce bottles. And let me just say, that purple right there, to me, is more of what I would expect and want in a dioxazine purple. Okay, I love that. I will be using that. I've not been real happy with the dioxazine purple in the Americana line. I've always found it to be very wimpy. And the majority of that is because the dioxine purple in the media line is so incredible. Oh yeah, there's our peony pink that was discontinued, but a little more saturation. Love it, love it. All right. And then we have Ember. Yeah, it's kind of a gray purple, which beautiful, like in clouds. Ah. All right, so Ember. Oh, I like that too. So dry clay, that's what I thought it was going to mimic a little bit more. I will say this is a little more orange, whereas dry clay, which I thought it was going to be similar to, isn't as red. So, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm always looking for a great orange. That's really pretty. Whipped mocha. Okay. And then let's just, oh yeah. So, fantastic skin tone. Really, really pretty. I love that. All right, so I'm going to, I just grabbed a stencil. I thought it would be fun because they're springy, but they're autumnal too, right? So I think they could definitely go in many different directions. I'm going to move them out of the way. And so I just grabbed that. Let's grab some paper towels. And I'm just going to grab this, what is that? 1/2 inch Stencil Pro. And let's just get a little bit of a base color down. Oops. I don't know, I just thought when I saw it that leaves would be really pretty. And then let's come in with some of that whipped mocha. A little here and there, but not everywhere. And then we're going to come in with the Ember. Is that what it is? Yes, Ember. Gotta get used to the names. I like how opaque that Ember is. And we're just going to put a little here and there, but not everywhere. And it might not make a masterpiece leaf, but I just wanted to see it kind of contained and layered and brushed over. And then, let's see, we're going to go into Atmosphere, which is that very kind of lilac-y purple. And then what else do we have? We have Chocolate Fig left, and the After Dark, and we did Atmosphere, right? We've got green, which is Juniper, and the pink. So let's go ahead and get some Juniper. I'm just going to put a little, again, here and there, not everywhere. So even while we were in New England, everyone kept saying that the colors weren't so great for the leaves and whatnot. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, they're beautiful. All right, we have pink. And do I have another stencil brush? I mean, yeah, but let's find one. Actually, I'm just going to use that one. I'll wipe it off. Okay, so this is that pretty pink color. And you might not think to use pink in leaves, but You know, there's red in leaves. I love to add pink. And again, that one was marvelous. And then the last one we're going to do, I do want to find another. Let me find another small stencil brush. Maybe that will work. And that's going to be for the after dark. Okay, and I'm going to start on the stencil. And then I'm going to bring it down. And those little divots, those little valleys, right there on the leaf. Oops. Okay, look how pretty and soft and oh, so pretty. Hello, Fran. I was just talking about your cookies and how awesome they were. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I want to do, so they blend beautifully. They look great together. Again, you could take it fall, you could take it spring. I think I'm going to do this one, and I don't have this stencil. I don't know why. I think it was one I was going to do and I didn't. But when you're stenciling, where was I recently? And someone, I can't remember where I was. It might have been Net. No, it wasn't. It was at Binders in Atlanta. And a customer, she goes, I am so bad at stenciling. Can you share some like tips and tricks? And so I showed her, you know, load your brush up, wipe it off. It's easier to build the color up than it is to take a whole bunch of paint bleeding from underneath your stencil. That's not going to look great. And she was just like, okay, that was worth it coming today. So thank you. Okay, so got a little butterfly there, and then we'll set that back down. And then I'm going to put this one. Is that the way it goes? I think so. And it might not work, but we're going to see, because I want to get some of that lighter purple. And just put it. It might not be enough of a contrast. I could always put in a little bit of white with that, but let's see. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I would want white because it's a little more on the gray side of purple. But look at that fall leaf, guys. Hello. Right? So pretty. So am I missing any color? Let me look. Again, we've got the chocolate fig. We have, oh, I didn't brush out chocolate fig. Hello. No, I did not. Y'all probably mentioned that in the comments, right? I just didn't see it. So we will brush out chocolate fig. Okay, really pretty brown. All right, let's move that out of the way. Again, I'm just going to go through them real quick. Whipped mocha, yuzu yellow, after dark, chocolate fig, juniper, marvelous, which I don't know if you could ever like pick that up and not go marvelous, ember, and atmosphere. All right, now let's move on. I'm going to move this palette. I'm going to use it later. I love the purple. Okay, so let me move this so I don't get it on anything. And I did a bigger snowman just so that you guys could see it. A little bit bigger. But these are about 2.5 by 2.5. And like I said, I originally thought about doing 2 today, but I want to play around with this one a little bit more and maybe do some more strokes instead of just stippling. But again, these are both on my website. The other thought I had when it came to the snowman was using some different products. So like, and I didn't on the one I painted, but you could use the Love Color Snow Tex because that is very, you can see I haven't used it, is like Snow Tex, and it has that little mica powder in it, like the Glamour Dust. Now, if you want it a little more Glamour Dusty, a little more glittery, sprinkle some Glamour Dust on it while it's wet, and you'll get even more, okay? And then another product, again, I didn't use this. I'm not going to use it today, but I wanted you to see. I might use it on the, like little pom-pom on his hat, but Snow Tex. And if you have ever watched Holly Hanley do her teddy bears, the way she does with the Snow Tex, just absolutely ingenious and brilliant. And but it makes great texture. It makes great texture. You can tint it, you can mix it with paint, or you can just use it as is. All right, so these are on MDF, okay? And I seal them with the Decor multi-purpose sealer. You can do that with a brush, or my recommendation is to do it with a little sponge dauber. Hello, Lynn. So the little sponge dauber will help keep, I'm just going to show you, because oftentimes I will do it and then tell you about it, but I want to show you how I do it. So my dauber is dry. I'm going to load it up with that medium, that multi-purpose sealer, tap it off. I'm going to tap it on. Now you can always mix this with your paint, but I like to do it on its own a lot of times. And then I will come in, once it's dry, with my white paint and tap it on, okay? I find sometimes this makes it a little bit too thin, so the second layer isn't as opaque as I would like. So put it on, let it dry, and then to paint the entire thing, same thing, use a dauber. That way, I don't know why I went into that. You're going to get a little texture, and if you don't want texture, you can go back and forth. But when you get next to that edge, don't scrape this way, or it's going to, you know, build up on the edge of your piece, whatever it is that you're painting. Okay, so these are laser cut and they're scored, so you already have the details on them. I just thought they were so cute and would make beautiful pins, so I cut out a bunch to paint up and give like to the people at the post office. And when I go out and about, which I don't do a lot when I'm not traveling, going out and about, but I have many things coming up this week that I'll be out and about, and hopefully can share that little random act of kindness. Okay, so I am going to work on the big one just so that you guys and I don't have to squint and struggle to see. So let's move that out of the way. I used strawberry, which might be surprising. I used strawberry for the hat, the cheeks, and the scarf, but you could use any color. All right, and then I used a little bit of lamp black for the buttons, the eyes, the nose. Now, I will use lamp black for something like that, but I love that you sampled the new, oh, thank you, Alec, appreciate that. I don't carry the Snow Tex, Debbie, no, but you can get that at Deco Art, and don't forget that 20% discount. So Payne's Gray in the media line is my absolute go-to favorite. And what other color do I want to get? We're going to get a little bit of bright orange. And a little bit of, and I probably forgot to bring it over. Did I? I did. I have to get it because it's like a major color. And I have to use it. I don't know why I forgot that. Hello, let me grab it. It's asphaltum. Hello. I don't even know where I put it. Oop, right there. It was hiding. It was hiding behind my water basin. All right, so a little bit of asphaltum. Do yourself a favor. I know you tell you guys all the time, but take those things off. You want to hear that snap when you close your paint. Okay. I'm also going to get out a little touch of oyster beige. And I think that will do it for now. Okay, so we have the white on. I just did one coat. So I am going to take that dauber and I'm going to paint a second layer just to make it nice and opaque. And let me hold that up. You will get a little bit of texture from that sponge. If you don't want the texture, like I said, start from the center, work out to the edge. You know, the Random Act of Kindness pens, you don't want them to take too long to paint. Otherwise, you're going to be selling them like an ornament or something, right? So quick, fast, easy paints, paint ups, I should say, like this, are what you want to be able to do and it not take all day to do it. All right, let's dry it. Thank you, Dee. Hi, Karen. Thank you, Sylvia. Yes. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Sandra. Yes, I had forgotten chocolate fig. Hello. But it was there in the end, so. Alrighty. I'm going to get, what is that? Number 4 flat. I love that size. The majority of the brushes that I use, I do sell. I don't have the newer interlock bronze ones. Is that that's a wave, but that's okay, it'll work. And I'm just gonna paint in the hat. Now the thing is, if I go over that little border line that I created, because I wanted to be able to outline him in white, so I did that with the Posca pen. I don't sell all the colors of Posca, but I do sell my favorites, which are the white and the black. So we're gonna, I just think these are so cute. You could personalize them to fit, you know, color of scarf, color of hat, whatever, with whoever you're giving it to. If you know they like purple or pink or orange. Hello, that was a lot of paint, Sandy. That's okay. Gonna clean it up with our pen. You could even put, I think these would be really pretty, like hot glue to the end of like a ribbon, or a little glue dot on the back and stick it on a bow, a package for the holidays. Okay. And even though this little one does not look like I did it with pink, it's because I came back in and I put some Red Alert with it. Let's just get that on there. Okay, we're just going to base coat some things in. And then on your website, it shows the art pen in the header as a set of 6. Huh. I'm almost positive it's a set of 6, Bonnie. But thank you for letting me know that. I will get that changed. All right, so for the arms, I'm gonna get a little bit of Payne's Gray and a little bit of asphaltum for the branch arms. We wanna make those dark. You could also use your sponge dauber for this. You just don't want it to be wet. And while I know I'm going to outline it with white, I'm not worried about the border, the little edge, because I'd have to sit there and try not to get into that line, which isn't going to happen. I will definitely get into it. Hello, Linda O'Connell. How are you, lovey? All right, let's dry. All right, I'm going to come back with that brush. Actually, I'm going to get another brush. That's a wave, and I'm not sure if I'm getting a little bit of a serrated edge there. So back to the strawberry. What I love about this color is it's transparent, but buildable. So 2 coats of it, and you're going to get a really pretty pink. But again, transparent. So when you're doing like glazes and washes and just get that little touch, that little hint of color. All right, and then over to our very messy bow, Sandy, I might say. And it's not a bow, it's a scarf. I looked at the bow and said bow. Do you guys do that? I used to not until COVID. Alrighty, so again, think you could use a little stencil on this. You could make it stripes, you can make it polka dots. I did polka dots. I'm gonna do polka dots today. Okay, let's dry it. Yes, Bonnie, I certainly will all the time. Hold on 1 second, I'll tell you. It's a set of 6. It is a set of 6 on the art pins. On many of the Random Act of Kindness pins, I actually put those on sale too. So, okay, now I'm going to show you on one snowman, blue floating. My preferred is with Payne's Gray. All right, so let me grab my 1/4 inch angle, my faux squirrel 1/4 inch angle, and we're going to pick up a little bit of Payne's Gray. So look at my palette right here. It's only on the toe. I'm going to flatten and push that brush so that the paint kind of gradates. It helps if you've got a mop brush handy, but I am going to do that around the body. I don't know why I prefer the Payne's Gray. I just, you know, when you look at white, white is not always white, right? You've got lavender, you've got green, you've got browns, you've got blues that give white. Like, you know, think of a magnolia that has that hint of pink. Now, when you do that, and I did not mop, I wanted to show you this on purpose, you might end up with that little line there. If you do, you're simply going to come back with a wet brush and you're just going to pat in some of your white paint. Okay, now here, this is a small one, but let me get, that's crystal blue, Bahama blue. And I'm showing you this because you don't have to necessarily do Payne's Gray if you want to have a little bit lighter blue, right? Or Prussian blue. Another one of my favorites is primary blue. Did not grab that one. But let me just show you again with some of the Prussian blue. Okay, now if I had to pick between the blue, I probably would go Prussian. Okay, so we are going to, I just want to fix that since I don't want a line there. Just want to show you how to fix a line. So we're going to take that Payne's gray, work it into the toe of the brush. This is probably the biggest tip I can give you when you're floating. Swipe it lightly across a paper towel just to get rid of the excess paint that ends up sometimes on the corner. Okay, so we're going to go there. We're going to go up underneath the hat. Where else did I go? Where the little fluffy ball meets the hat. Okay. And then right here, it's not real noticeable, but do you see that little dot right there? That little black. So I'm just going to dip the toe into that. And it's that little space where the hat goes around the back of the snowman. Okay. All right. And let me show you on here too, the difference. So this one's big. I would use a 1/4 inch to float color on the small one. But when it comes to the big one, this is probably 2.5 times bigger than the other. Use an angle brush that's comparable to the size of what it is that you're floating the color. If you try and use too small of a one, you're definitely going to get a line. If you're trying to use too big of one, it's not going to be as effective. So use the brush that is comparable to the size of what it is that you're painting. Okay. Again, for this one, my 3/8 angle. On the small little pin size one, 1/4 inch angle. Okay, and let's just soften, soften, soften. Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. I'll make sure that you get 6. No worries. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to come back in. I want to put a little bit more of that strawberry. And then we're going to get out some Red Alert. And the Fiery Red Neon, because hello, it is a fantastic color to highlight red with. We are going to dry this. While that's kind of setting up, I'm going to come back in with a little bit of asphaltum again. And Payne's gray. Alrighty. Did I miss that right there? Oh, I went into it. That's all right. Alrighty. So on the toe of my angle brush, this is a 3/8 angle. I have some Red Alert. And it might be like, oh, that doesn't really show up. It will show up, I promise. I have a little bit underneath. Okay, so that I love red and pink together. I don't know about y'all, but to darken that just a bit, it needs the tiniest touch of Payne's Gray. Okay, so if I get it this dark, I'll swipe off my brush, pick up a little bit more of the Red Alert, again, swiping it across my paper towel. And we're going to get this really pretty color. We'll go up underneath that scarf. And let's just say my light's kind of coming from 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to have that darker side right there. I'll also have that Payne's Gray up underneath. Then back to the number 2 flat. Do I want to do 2 flat? I'm going to do a 4 flat. I'm going to come into that oyster beige. Okay, so you can see right there on my palette, I have that oyster beige. Tap it across my paper towel. And on these, I'm just going to paint little dashes. And I'm staying pretty much the top to middle of these sections, okay, on the twiggy branch area. Hi, Carrie. I want to get rid of that pink right there. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up some marigold. Little bit of marigold. Thank you, Fran, for the stars. Greatly appreciate that. So will the World Central Kitchen, where I have given the last 3 years, feeding people around the country and world. This is definitely, desperately needed. All right, so a little bit of that marigold and oyster beige. Let's dry him. He's looking a little dirty. Oh, that's awesome, Patrick. That's a great idea. Yes, to answer your question, Lynn, it's always more expensive for me to send something to Tracy than it is for Tracy to send something to me, which is very aggravating. But, all right, so I'm going to go to my 10-aught rigger, and we are going to paint in, let me just load it up. We're going to paint in that carrot nose. And I went outside the line, and let me tell you guys, I used to really get frustrated with myself when, like, if I went outside the lines or, oh goodness, dropped my brush. Or my paint extended further than I wanted to. Oh well, get a wet brush, erase it, you'll be fine. All right, I, just for the sake of not having wet paint, am going to use my Posca pen for the eyes. You can always do cute little eyelashes, but on this I do think I'm gonna come in. Sometimes when things are scored and it goes into that line, it misshapes it. So I'm just going to use this small, small, small. A little smirk there from him or her. And then we'll dry them. Thank you, Diana. Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for being here. Where are you viewing from? Again, he's just so sweet. Change that ribbon out. Ribbon. Why do I keep saying ribbon? Scarf, hat color. Put a little snow text. In fact, I think I will put some snow text on his pom-pom there. Okay. So let's let those dots dry up. Remember on the hat, we did the red alert and a tiny touch of Payne's Gray. Both sides. Swipe across my paper towel. I'm going to go down that line right there. And then we're going to go down that line and that line, just to where it's shaded. Oh, I like that even more so than that shading, so I'm going to beef that up. Okay. Now on the nose, we did one coat, right? We want to get a second coat of the bright orange on there. And just clean up purposes for me, because it drives me crazy when I have to look at it and it's not as cleaned up as I want it to be. All right, now on that nose, we want to give him a little shadow. So on my 1/4 inch angle, I have a little bit of the bright orange and a tiny touch of asphaltum. That was a big much, not a tiny much. So I just wiped it off, picked up a little bit more orange, and along that C right there, it's a C. So you're basically just writing with the tip of that paintbrush, the toe, a C. Okay. And then we're going to just bring that right along the bottom. Maybe get a touch more. I like to add the color that the nose is or the base color is so that it's not so harsh. Those are some big ol' eyes. All right, so I am gonna take that 1/4 inch angle, pick up a little bit of Payne's Gray, and right up underneath, we will float that right up underneath the nose where it meets the face. Trying to pick up enough water without too much water underneath the eyes. Yeah, I didn't pick up enough. Okay, the mouth and the buttons. Okay, and then I do like how strong that is, so I'm going to come over here and do that. All right. Boynton Beach, Florida. Awesome. All right, so I'm just looking to see if I want to, I think I want to come in with my 3/8 angle and just clean up that side where I got heavy into it. And then let's rinse it out. And I'm gonna pick up some asphaltum on that brush, but inky. So see up there on my palette, I've got water and asphaltum. So asphaltum is, in my opinion, a much prettier color than like burnt umber. It just gives you a nice golden brown. All right. Now, finishing touches for this one is going to be my white Posca pen. So we're going to come right down here. Oops, is that gonna work? Yes. This is what I was talking about where it's scored. It can always go a little bit outside the lines of where you want, and you might have to come back in and fix up your paint a little bit. And if you do, that's all right, right? But I'm thinking I might need to get a new white Posca pen. Yeah, I think so. Let me, oh, do I have one already primed? That's the biggest thing with these is the prime time. So let's see. Oh yeah, that one looks. So I did the outside edge, the band. And if you don't have a Posca pen, don't worry. You can use your paint. Because in a Posca pen is acrylic paint. Just use your liner brush with Americana. I just find it much easier on these little details to use your pen. Although I might be switching to my liner brush. All right. Then we will. Okay. On the nose, maybe what looks like a little bit of snow. On the hat, we're going to go right above that. So remember that little triangle right there that I showed you. Again, that just makes your hat look dimensional. And it goes all the way around the snowman's head. I don't know why this side does not want to pick up the white. And then probably the most frightening spot to do this is the eyes. Let's just get this on. Because you don't want to mess them up, but you know, 1 or 2 dots is good. And then you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 for the coal buttons. I have room on this one to do 4. On the small one, I will show you again close up that I only had room to do 2. All right, so just to kind of keep that in mind. And then on the hat, we are going to do little polka dots. And make sure to make them random so that you don't end up with a obvious pattern. Again, the great thing about these pens is you can paint over it. It's paint. You can use it over paint. Okay. And then let's just do our outline first so that we can see where we're going. So you don't have to do this, but I just thought it would look really cool to kind of be outlined in white. I don't know if you remember when, or if you saw when I did the Painterly color wheel phone stand and outlined those little blobs in white, how much it stood out. Okay, so if something's not really standing out, try a little outline of white. And then we'll just give it a little accent line along the tops. Oh, thank you, Joan and Patrick, for explaining. So when your Posca pen is not giving as much paint, you can put some out on your palette. Now, it's primed and ready to use, but when I come back to what I've been coming back to, I've been coming right back to that paint because it's gonna stick on that nib and not go to waste. So thank you so much for that question, because that's exactly what I'm doing. And it will save you guys that paint that's coming out of your pen. And when it dries out, you can just go right back there and pick it up. So, fantastic question. And I appreciate you answering that, Patrick, because that's exactly what I'm doing. Just priming my paint pen to pick up more paint. And it dries fairly quickly. And if it sinks in, like most paint does, most white does, you can always come back in and just go right back over it as if you were using your liner brush or rigger. Little swipes of white highlight there. All right, let's get our scarf. I know I haven't done the cheeks yet, but let's get our scarf outlined. Oh, I didn't do the bottom on the small one, so I'm not going to do the bottom on the big one. I just did that little line right there. Okay, and then the rest is polka dots. Got a little bit of an accent line coming from that side. Just like when you're pumping that paint pen to get the paint to come out, before you go to your piece, make sure that you dot that on your palette, because you might end up with like a seriously big blob, which won't be good. And I somehow got Payne's Gray in that. I think it was on the palette. Alrighty. And then I am gonna do, because this one's bigger, I probably wouldn't on the littler one, except let's see if we can. You just don't want that to take over the tiny little dot. So I did that, and actually that's pretty cute, right? So I will do that on my little coal mouth. Do a few little dots there. All right. Oh, you're so welcome, Fran. Thank you, Karen. Excuse me. Cute snowman. Posca pens are fantastic. Is there a rule of thumb to get a shade color for a color if we don't want to bother? So, great question, Patrick. Let's put him aside. I think he's pretty much done, with the exception of I thought about using some of the Love Color glitter text on the hat. Little pom-pom, just to add a little something extra. You could also even add this to the arms. Right, get a little bit of texture there. All right, so let's move him out of the way. And let me show you. So, let's take a color like, where did my journal page go? Oh, let's just do this one. Okay, so if you have like juniper, let's take that new green color. And we will brush it out. All right. Then I'm going to brush out a second one. I don't know why, but my go-to to darken anything and shade anything a lot of times is just using Payne's Gray. Okay, so I want to dry this and get it where you can see it. So I have Plantation Pine here. Let's get some of that out. Now, Plantation Pine is a transparent color that's going over more of an opaque green. Okay, so it depends on what you're going for. I think, just personally, and I might be wrong, but one thing I've always felt when we list a paint color and a highlight and a shading color, it depends on which direction you're trying to go. Do you want warmth? Do you want a cool green? Do you want a warm green? So that's Plantation Pine, and that's pretty, but, and let me brush out a third because I'll show you. All right, so in the middle one, I'm just going to use a little bit of Payne's Gray. Now, I use the Media Payne's Gray, and it is transparent. So it's going to be transparent over that juniper, okay? Which might be a little on the dark side. I really like a good dark shading. Again, because the majority of the time I do that, my highlight's a little bright, and then I do a wash, dry brushing, okay? So this is Plantation Pine, that's just Payne's Gray. Now let's do both of them. So, went to that one. So Plantation Pine and Payne's Gray, and I just remembered I want to do a fourth one because I think one of the best ways to get better at highlighting and shading and stuff too is just to experiment, because y'all know I don't like absolutes in art, and it's not always this or always that. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, so Um, oh, I misread something. All right, so on that angle brush, I'm going to get a little bit of plantation pine and Payne's gray. Okay, so remember we have plantation pine, we have Payne's gray and juniper, we have plantation pine and Payne's gray. Okay, which is pretty, right? It's not as dark as just plantation, or excuse me, as Payne's gray. But let's come over here and we're going to do juniper and plantation pine. Juniper and Payne's gray. Hello. Okay. I did a bigger swatch instead of that one. So what I like about this one is with the juniper and Payne's gray mixed on the toe of the brush, I think you get a really pretty gradation. Okay, so let's move to another color just so that you can see if we've got asphaltum. And so we're going to have asphaltum on the toe and some Payne's gray. I can come in and make that darker. Now, if it's too dark, all I have to do is do a wash of asphaltum over it, right? But let's dry that. And do just asphaltum. It's going to be a little bit on the darker side, right? So mixing your base color with a little bit of Payne's gray will give you that nice, rich, dark color. And then if it's too dark, a wash of that asphaltum right over it. And it's almost seamless. I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense to y'all? Let me know in the comments, because that's a lot of the ways that I paint is just to experiment and see what works better with the floating of your shading color and your highlight color, okay? But I think because I also dry brush and do washes, that I'm never really so hung up that it has to be this color every time. It can be this color. So, anywho's, I hope y'all enjoyed painting him. When I'm back in 2 weeks, I am going to have a couple variations of our wreath. Makes sense? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, it does. Oh, you're so welcome, Patrick. Excuse me. I think sometimes we get so, oh my goodness, let me get my water, so in our head. Or one artist does it this way and one artist does it that way, and so we feel like we have to do it the way always, and that's not the case. So anyway, or we will oh, thank you guys. I love layering color for shading, right? Sue, it makes such a difference. Alrighty, guys, I will get the happy mail out this week. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like, comment, share. If you do those stars on Facebook and the money thing over on YouTube, that money goes to the World Central Kitchen. Thank you for donating. I know I almost messaged you, Linda Grass, because I was like, I have 2 new random act of kindness pins I forgot to tell you about. So All right, y'all, have a fantastic week. Don't forget, get those brushes out, do something creative. And if you're not feeling it, guess what? Grab a surface, base coat it. That momentum is going to get you creating and moving. I won't be live next Sunday, but I will be the Sunday after. And that is the 23rd. So make sure to like, comment, share to be entered to the Happy Mail. And I will see y'all later. Thanks so much. And don't forget, you can't use it all. The more you use it, the more you will use it. And just a few little things that are new and on the website. Got the teacups loaded, the flower power teacups I did at OKC this year. We have our pins and the wreaths, the pumpkins, and my favorite, the mixed media tree trio. All right, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, when you're out and about this week, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Smile at someone, open the door, wave.